Hi, family. This is day 92 of our Reading Through the Bible Together in a Year series. Today, we're still in the book of 2 Samuel, and we're in chapters 20 through 22. Now, there's been a lot about David's son Absalom leading kind of a revolt against David. David has to flee. Absalom's trying to become the king, but then Absalom gets killed, and the northern kingdom who's supporting him, they lose the battle. The forest kills more than the sword does that day. Got some Lord of the Rings stuff in there. I'm just kidding. That's just a funny reference for me. But David is now back to being king over everybody. And so David isn't happy about his son being dead, and he mourned instead of being glad about the victory of the. But he's not very happy. But he's king again, and he's supposed to be king. So let's see how the story continues on today. There happened to be there a wicked fellow, whose name was Sheva, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite, and he blew the trumpet and said, "We have no portion in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Yishai. Every man to his tents, Yisrael." So all the men of Israel went up from following David and followed Sheva, the son of Bichri. But the men of Yehudah joined with their king, from the Yarden even to Jerusalem. David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in custody, and provided them with sustenance, but didn't go into them. So they were shut up to the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then the king said to Amasa, "Call me the men of Yehudah together within 3 days, and be here present." So Amasa went to call the men of Yehudah together, but he stayed longer than the set time which had been appointed to him. David said to Avishai, "Now Sheva, the son of Bichri, will do us more harm than Avshalom did. Take your lord's servants and pursue after him, lest he get himself fortified cities and escape out of our sight." Joab's men went out after him with the Kerethites and Pelethites and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue Sheva the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stones which is in Givon, Amasa came to meet them. Joab was clothed in his apparel of war that he had put on, and on it was a sash with a sword fastened on his waist in its sheath, and as he went along it fell out. Joab said to Amasa, "Is it well with you, my brother?" Joab took Amasa by the beard with his right hand to kiss him, but Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he struck him with it in the body and shed out his bowels to the ground, and didn't strike him again, and he died. Joab and Avishai, his brother, pursued Sheva, the son of Bichri. One of Joab's men stood by him and said, "He who favors Joab and he who is for David, let him follow Joab." Amasa lay wallowing in his blood in the middle of the highway. When the man saw that all the people stood still, he carried Amasa out of the highway into the field, and cast a garment over him when he saw that everyone who came by him stood still. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue Sheva, the son of Bichri. He went through all the tribes of Israel to Avel, to Beit Maacah, and all the Berites. They were gathered together, and went also after him. They came and besieged him in Avel of Beit Maacah, and they cast up a mound against the city, and it stood against the rampart, and all the people who were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then a wise woman cried out of the city, "Hear, hear, please say to Joab, 'Come near here that I may speak with you.'" He came near to her, and the woman said, "Are you Joab?" He answered, "I am." Then she said to him, "Hear the words of your servant." He answered, "I'm listening." Then she spoke, saying, "They used to say in old times, 'They shall surely ask counsel at Avel,' and so they settled a matter. I am among those who are peaceable and faithful in Israel. You seek to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why will you swallow up Yahweh's inheritance?" Joab answered, far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so. But a man of the hill country of Ephraim, Sheva, the son of Bichri by name, has lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Just to deliver him, and I will depart from the city." The woman said to Joab, "Behold, his head will be thrown to you over the wall." Then the woman went to all the people in her wisdom. They cut off the head of Sheva, the son of Bichri, and threw it out to Joab. He blew the trumpet, and they were dispersed from the city, every man to his tent. Then Joab returned to Jerusalem to the king. Now Joab was over all the army of Israel. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Kerethites and over the Pelethites. Adoram was over the men subject to forced labor. Jehoshaphat, the son of Achilud, was the recorder. Sheva was the scribe. Zadok and Abiathar were priests, and Yerah the Yairite was chief minister to David. There was a famine in the days of David for 3 years, year after year, and David sought the face of Yahweh. Yahweh said, "It is for Shaul and for his bloody house, because he put the Gibeonites to death." The king called the Gibeonites and said to them, Now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn to them, and Shaul sought to kill them in his zeal for the children of Israel and Yehudah. And David said to the Gibeonites, "What should I do for you? And with what should I make atonement, that you may bless Yahweh's inheritance?" The Gibeonites said to him, "It is no matter of silver or gold between us and Shaul or his house, neither is it for us to put any man to death in Israel." He said, "I will do for you whatever you say." They said to the king, "The man who consumed us and who plotted against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the borders of Israel, let 7 men of his sons be delivered to us, and we will hang them up to Yahweh in Gibeah of Shaul, the chosen of Yahweh." The king said, "I will give them." But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Shaul, because of Yahweh's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Shaul. But the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bore to Shaul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Merav, the daughter of Shaul, whom she bore to Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholathite. He delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them on the mountain before Yahweh, and all 7 of them fell together. They were put to death in the days of the harvest, in the first days, at the beginning of the barley harvest. Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for herself on the rock, from the beginning of harvest until water poured on them from the sky. She allowed neither the birds of the sky to rest on them by day, nor the animals of the field by night. David was told what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Shaul, had done. So David went and took the bones of Shaul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Yavesh Gilead, who had stolen them from the street of Beth Shan, where the Philistines had hanged them in the day that the Philistines killed Shaul in Gilboa. And he brought up from there the bones of Shaul and the bones of Jonathan his son. They also gathered the bones of those who were hanged. They buried the bones of Shaul and Jonathan his son in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the tomb of Kish his father, and they performed all that the king commanded. After that God answered prayer for the land. The Philistines had war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. David grew faint, and Yishvi Benov, who was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear was 300 shekels of bronze in weight, he being armed with a new sword, thought he would kill David. But Avishai, the son of Zeruiah, helped him, and struck the Philistine, and killed him. Then the men of David swore to him, saying, "Don't go out with us to battle any more, so that you don't quench the lamp of Israel." After this there was again war with the Philistines at Gav. Then Sibchai, the Hushathite, killed Saph, who was of the sons of the giant. There was again war with the Philistines at Gov, and Elchanan, the son of Yaar Oragim, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath, the Gittite's brother, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. There was again war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature, who had 6 fingers on every hand and 6 toes on every foot, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. When he defiled Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimei, David's brother, killed him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. David spoke to Yahweh the words of this song in the day that Yahweh delivered him, out of the hand of all his enemies, and out of the hand of Shaul. And he said, "Yahweh is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, even mine. God is my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge. My Savior, you save me from violence. I call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies, for the waves of death surrounded me. The floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The cords of Sheol were around me. The snares of death caught me. In my distress I called on Yahweh. Yes, I called to my God. He heard my voice out of his temple. My cry came into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven quaked and were shaken because he was angry. Smoke went up out of his nostrils. Consuming fire came out of his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down. Thick darkness was under his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew. Yes, he was seen on the wings of the wind. He made darkness a shelter around himself, gathering of waters, and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness before him, coals of fire were kindled. Yahweh thundered from heaven. The Most High uttered his voice. He sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning and confused them. Then the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world were laid bare by Yahweh's rebuke, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. He sent from on high, and he took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who aided me, for they were too mighty for me. Then they came on me in the day of my calamity, but Yahweh was my support. He also brought me out into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Yahweh rewarded me according to my righteousness. He rewarded me according to the cleanness of my hands. For I have kept Yahweh's ways and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his ordinances were before me. As for his statutes, I didn't depart from them. I was also perfect toward him. I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore Yahweh has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight. With the merciful you will show yourself merciful. With the perfect man you will show yourself perfect. With the pure you will show yourself pure. With the crooked you will show yourself shrewd. You will save the afflicted people, but your eyes are on the arrogant, that you may bring them down. For you are my lamp, Yahweh. Yahweh will light up my darkness. For by you I run against a troop. By my God I leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. Yahweh's word is tested. He is a shield to all those who take refuge in him. For who is God besides Yahweh? Who is a rock besides our God? God is my strong fortress. He makes my way perfect. He makes his feet like hinds' feet and sets me on my high places. He teaches my hands to war so that my arms bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your gentleness has made me great. You have enlarged my steps under me. My feet have not slipped. I have pursued my enemies and destroyed them. I didn't turn again until they were consumed. I have consumed them and struck them through, so that they can't arise. Yes, they have fallen under my feet, for you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose up against me. You have also made my enemies turn their backs to me, that I may cut off those who hate me. They looked, but there was no one to save, even to Yahweh, but he didn't answer them. Then I beat them as small as the dust of the earth. I crushed them as the mire of the streets, and spread them abroad. You have also delivered me from the strivings of my people. You have kept me to be the head of the nations. A people whom I have not known will serve me. The foreigners will submit themselves to me. As soon as they hear of me, they will obey me. The foreigners will fade away, and will come trembling out of their close places. Yahweh lives. Blessed be my rock. Exalted be God, the rock of my salvation, even the God who executes vengeance for me, who brings down peoples under me, who brings me away from my enemies. Yes, you lift me up above those who rise up against me. You deliver me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks to you, Yahweh, among the nations, and will sing praises to your name. He gives great deliverance to his king, and shows loving kindness to his anointed, to David and to his offspring forevermore. So today's reading is ending with a psalm of David, a gratitude towards Yahweh for all of the situations within David's life where Yahweh has fought for him and been a rock of salvation and taken care of him through thick and thin. And even when David wasn't great, Yahweh was still keeping his promise. And it's a very beautiful psalm. Takes up the entire chapter. It's a pretty long psalm, but pretty beautiful. It's not too bad. We like that kind of thing. But let's back up a little bit before that, because there's some interesting things that happen, right? Sheva is trying to lead a revolt, saying, no, David's not my king. And then David's like, we better put this down. Joab, go after him, go get him. And Joab does. And what Joab will end up doing is going and attack the city that he's in. And the wise woman who steps out and says, wait, we're part of God's inheritance. This city is part of the kingdom. Don't wipe us all out. Are you here to destroy everybody? And Joab says, no, I'm not actually. I'm here literally because I need Sheva. So if you deliver him to me, we'll be good. And they throw his head over the wall. So that revolt gets put down quickly. Nobody's really supporting Sheva, or at least not in that city. And so that revolt gets put down quickly. But we're seeing more of Joab and how not great of a person he really is. And this specific thing about Amasa, it's Joab's brother, right? It's Joab's brother who Absalom puts over the army when Absalom is in control. And Joab talks to Amasa like, hey, how you doing? I'm here to give you a hug and kiss. You're my brother. but then like secretly has a sword and kills Amasa and like leaves him dead on the side of the highway. It's, to me, it's very, very much Cain and Abel imagery going on here, because they're brothers, and Joab is kind of, let's go into the field, there's nothing to be afraid of, like, how you doing, it's good to see you, my brother, and then like kills him unexpectedly. And what's interesting is that everybody who's passing by Amasa laying dead in the field, they stop and they're not following Joab because they're paying attention to Amasa. And it seems like it's because his blood is crying out from the ground. It's just like, that's kind of the imagery that I got there, and that's interesting. I wonder if we're supposed to see Joab as this Cain figure who is vengeful and fearful of other people, and angry and violent. I wonder if we're supposed to make a connection between Cain and Abel and Joab and Amasa. So that's just an interesting point to me. But we're just going to see how it keeps going after today. Oh, the Gibeonite revenge. This is an interesting story, and I don't really know what to make of it, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because if you remember, the Gibeonites were the ones that, at the beginning of the Joshua story, they lie to Joshua and say, hey, we're not from the land, we're from far away, we just heard about Yahweh's greatness. And Joshua makes a covenant with them saying, yeah, we'll spare you, everything will be fine, which should have asked God, because the Gibeonites were the Canaanites, but because Joshua made a vow, they were no longer allowed to kill the Gibeonites. So farther along in the story, right, all the way through Judges, now we're to, apparently Saul attacked the Gibeonites, which was going against the oath that was made from Joshua. And so David wants to know, or there's like 3 years of dryness, right? 3 years without rain. And Yahweh says it's because of the Gibeonites have been attacked. It's because the blood of the Gibeonites is on Saul's hands. And so David goes to the Gibeonites and asks, how can we make this right? How can we make atonement with you so that everything is good and Yahweh's inheritance can be blessed again? And the Gibeonites ask for 7 sons of Saul. And David does it. Like, David gives up 7 sons of Saul, and the Gibeonites hang him up. And it's at that point that Yahweh's like, cool, the scale has been balanced, and then sends rain and things go good again. I mean, it's kind of a, like, what? Like, Yahweh's happy with this reconciliation. Yahweh's happy with this atonement of life for life here. I mean, I don't know. I have to think about it some more, if I'm being perfectly honest. But there's just so many factors there. So I don't really know what to think of it. Maybe you have something to say about it, or maybe you have something to think about. But we'll see how it goes. I do like at the end of chapter 21, it shows all of the different giants that David is still wiping out. Giants, the Nephilim, the sons of God and man, and God and women, or gods and women. The sons of gods and women, right, is the Nephilim, the giants. And so we're kind of seeing that. We had Goliath at the beginning of the David story, and then we haven't talked that much about giants or half giants since, but now we have sons of giants here at the end of 21 and right before David's psalm of victory. So just some wacky stuff going on in the book of 2 Samuel. Probably some more stuff to talk about, but these closers are supposed to be short. So I hope you have a wonderful day.